Do you find yourself creating awesome sounding mixes when you're in your home studio, but then when you take it to the car or you listen to headphones or in any other environment, it just doesn't sound the same? It doesn't sound good. Well, the reason for this is because your room might be tricking you into making poor mixing decisions. This is why a lot of people, myself included, recommend you use acoustic treatment to deaden your room slightly and reduce the impact that your room is going to have on your mixes. But what if you just can't afford expensive acoustic treatment? Does that mean that producing professional quality music from home is impossible? Not at all. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 simple steps for producing pro quality music from home, even if you don't have acoustic treatment. Hi, I'm Reagan Ram with Orpheus Audio Academy. And before we dive into this tutorial, I just wanted to let you know that you can grab a free rapid song finishing checklist in the description below. And this will help you produce radio-worthy tracks in record time. Now, you might be skeptical because you've probably heard it said you can't get professional quality mixes in an untreated room. But the reality is there's no such thing as a perfect room. Even high-end commercial quality recording studios, they're not going to be perfect, even with all the acoustic treatment and the design features they have. For example, when I was in school, my instructor, he actually runs and owns a commercial studio, and he has it perfectly built. He doesn't have any parallel surfaces. Everything is acoustically treated, and yet even he needed to have a 3rd octave EQ to tune his room to adjust for the imperfections in that room. So no room is going to be perfect. You're going to have to do some things and to work around the room that you're working in. And so this means even at home in your untreated room, you can still create quality mixes and tracks from home. All right, let's dive into the 9 tips. So tip number 1 is to adjust your listening position. This is a very simple thing you can do to dramatically improve what you're hearing in your room. So there's really 2 elements to this. Number 1 is make sure that you are positioned lengthwise in your room. So if your room is more rectangular, make sure that your desk is positioned along one of the shorter walls, and so you have the longer room going back behind you. And then number 2, you want to make sure your listening position is in the first third or the 33% mark in your room. So again, if you have that longer room, divide it up into thirds and make sure you are positioned at one of those thirds. So not exactly in the center, not exactly against the wall, but you want to be a little bit away from the wall. If that means moving your desk away from the wall so that your chair where you're listening is at that 33% mark in the room. Tip number 2 is to adjust your speakers so that they form an equilateral triangle with your head. You also want to make sure that they are actually positioned with your ears so that they're hitting your ears and not above or below your ears. And you also want to make sure your speakers are separated from your desk. You can use books or foam or just anything that you can stack them up a little bit so that they have some separation from the bottom of the speaker to your desk. And finally, if your speakers are designed this way, actually have them laying on their sides with the tweeters facing out. Now, my particular monitors, they're actually designed to be standing vertical, but there's a lot of monitors out there that people have vertical that are actually meant to be on their sides. So make sure to read the manual for whatever speakers you have and see if you have speakers that should be laying on their sides. Now, tip number 4 is to actually use the right speakers for your room, because a lot of the higher end monitors you have out there, they just aren't going to work as well in a small room because of the physics of sound. In particular, low frequencies, they're just not going to be able to develop in a smaller space. So if you're using bigger monitors, sometimes they can just be a little too boomy and just pump out too much noise, and it makes it hard to distinguish what's going on in your mix. So I would definitely recommend using smaller monitors if you're in a smaller room. And the best pair that I've found are the iLoud micro monitors by IK Multimedia. These are the monitors that I use. And I did a full tutorial on these monitors and why they're awesome. And if you want to learn more about these monitors, you can actually click in the description below to watch my full tutorial where I walk through why these are awesome monitors. Now, tip number 5 is to actually turn down your speakers. So if you are blasting at very high levels when you're mixing, then there's going to be more reflections and the room is going to come more into play. So if you're listening at lower volumes, then your room is kind of taken out of the picture. It's not having as big of an impact on what you're doing. Now, the exception is if you're using EQ. If you're using EQ, then you definitely want to mix at 85 to 90 dB. If you want to learn more about mixing volumes and what volume you should be listening back to your music when you're mixing. I did a full video on this that you can check out in the description below as well. Tip number 6 is to check your mix on headphones. Definitely get a good pair of headphones that you can use when you're mixing. So you have your speakers, which are being impacted by the room, but then you can also take your room out of it by listening back on headphones. And so by comparing the two, you can get a good picture of how your mix is shaping up. And by the way, I did a full tutorial on the best headphones for mixing and mastering, which are actually these, the Sennheiser HD600s. I'll link to that video in the description below. Or if you just want to go ahead and pick up a pair of these headphones, I'll include a link to these in the description as well. So you can go ahead and grab those and get started. Now, tip number 7 is to use pro references. And this might be one of the most important tips because, right, a reference track is just another professionally produced song that has similar instrumentation or is in a similar genre. And you're going to drop that into your track and you're going to try and compare your song to their song and try to make sure that your song fits into the ballpark in terms of sound quality and frequency content and all that. So this is great because when you're listening back to your reference, you're listening back to it in your same room. So you might be hearing things that sound a little off potentially with your references, but that's okay. You know that it's probably just the room. And so if you are using the references as you're mixing your track and you make sure that it is kind of matching, and this it doesn't have to be, you don't want to, you're trying to copy, but if you're matching the, say, frequency content, like how the low end of the reference compares to your song, how that high end of the reference compares to your song, maybe how particular instruments, how loud they are in the mix. If you're making those comparisons and you're at least making your song close to that reference, then even though you're in a less than ideal environment, you still are going to be producing a song that is high quality. Now, another thing you can do is you can actually calibrate your room with EQ software like SonarWorks Sound ID Reference or IK Multimedia's ARC system. And so what these do is they actually listen to your room and how sound is responding in your room, and it creates a EQ curve over your entire mix that corrects what is going on in your room. So that way, when you're making mixing decisions, your room isn't tricking your ears. You're able to make decisions based on what is actually going on in your mix. So this will help you to create mixes that sound good across multiple devices such as phones, laptops, earbuds, car speakers, and so on. And my 9th and final tip is another piece of software you can use, which is called Waves NX, which will actually turn your headphones into a pro studio, without having the room influencing your decisions. So you just insert the plugin on your master bus and you'll hear all the elements of your mix as if they were in an actual studio environment that is acoustically treated, therefore taking your poor room out of the picture. So if you implement all these tips, you absolutely can create pro quality mixes from your home studio, even if you don't have acoustic treatment, if you follow other sound mixing principles, which you can actually find in my free song finishing checklist in the description below, as that walks you through a proven step-by-step mixing system so that you can mix with confidence and finish more radio-worthy tracks faster. Also, be sure to check out this other video on the screen right now, which walks through how you can actually mix and master your songs on headphones. All right, thanks for watching and keep creating.